Is your mantra for the new year to infinity and beyond? Or is it stupid is as stupid does? Or Houston, we have a problem. Well, yippee-ki-yay! I don't think I'll finish that because you can't handle the truth. What does all this have to do with personal development? Stay tuned because I'll be back. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And doesn't it seem like the same movies are on TV over and over and over again? And, you know, with this time where, you know, we're staying inside more and, you know, you can work, but sometimes you need to take a break and watch a movie, and you see the same movies over and over and over again. But, you know, with the tunnel vision that I have, my singleness of purpose with this channel, with developing Eli and passing along things that people don't learn in school, it hit me that watching a couple of these movies, that the success formula is always the same. It's always the same. And you see it in movies also. How would you like, first of all, to have the name Maximus? Is that a great name or what? I'm, of course, referencing the movie Gladiator. That's one that's on all the time. And, you know, you watch that movie, and what do you see in that movie? Let's go over the little formula in that movie, all right? First of all, Maximus has reached a pretty high position, and then he's, for whatever reason, fallen from grace. Does that ever happen to you? That's one of the most difficult things that there is, you know, you reach a certain position and then you fall down, and I can tell you personally because that happened to me. I was in a fairly high position, and then I was so far down I had to look up to look down. So how do you get over that? Okay, you go back to the basics of success, of the formula. Let's take a look at Maximus, for example, all right? He fell from grace for whatever reason and was captured and became part of the group of people that were training to be gladiators. First thing he did was, you know, said, no, I'm not going to do it. You know, he had the attitude. Isn't that what happens all the time when you're facing adversity like that? The first thing you do is you do one of these and you say, you know what, I'm not doing that. Okay, well, that's what he said. And then when push came to shove, he had time to think about it, and he had to fight his first fight. He won decisively, and he got the attention of the boss. Okay, that guy's name was Proximus. The first thing he did was he got a mentor, and the mentor took a look at him and said, hey, you want your freedom? Do you want your freedom? I was a slave once myself, so I understand how it all works. The key thing is you have to win the crowd. All right, well, what was his dream? First of all, and this isn't the most noble dream, but his dream, excuse me, was to get revenge on Joaquin Phoenix, right? The emperor. That was the first thing. And right up there with that was to be in the afterlife with his wife and with his son. So those were his dreams, his goals, his ambitions, his burning desires. And so he didn't let his pride get in the way of his pocketbook. And also, one of the things was he took a position of leadership. All right, remember from starting off with by throwing the sword and saying, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? He got to the point where they were in the big Colosseum in Rome and knew that they were going to be throwing all sorts of things at him and the people that he was, the other gladiators that were there. He took the position of leadership. He said, whatever comes out of these gates, we have a better chance for survival if we work together. Do you understand? If we work together, we survive. Especially in a time of crisis. People are starving for leadership. They're starving for leadership. All right? And And then, like I said, he attracted the mentor. And how do you attract a mentor? By outstanding performance. And all of the I've had 3 or 4 really good mentors in my life, and you always get the advice, find a mentor, but they don't say how. Well, here's how. Do what you're supposed to do in an outstanding way, and that will get the attention of the mentor. You need to understand something. Mentors have all this information that's inside, and they just want to get it out there. They want to recreate themselves. They want to develop people. If not for company reasons, then for selfish reasons. All right, Mr. Mutnick, my first mentor. His son didn't want to go into the business. He took a look at me. I was performing. He said, all right, Eli's dad, let's lock arms. And then he took a personal interest. And that has been the scenario every single step along the way. Do what you're supposed to do in an outstanding way. When you do that, you'll start to get the attention. You'll draw a mentor to you. All right, let's get back to the formula. All right, so what did Maximus do? He broke things down into small chunks. First I've got to, be in position to win. I've got to get the leadership. I want to get face to face with the emperor, and he was already there. Like after he'd won his first bout and the emperor wanted to meet him, didn't know who he was yet, and he's already, you can see he's grabbing the dirt, he's grabbing his weapon, that he's going to go. He doesn't care if he dies because he's going to go to the afterlife, that he wants to be with his, his wife and son. And then he sees the little boy there, and he puts it on hold. Situations change. He had to take a detour. All right? You follow what I'm saying? All of these little steps that he took. And, there was the fall from grace, captured by the worst elements of society. He performed well. He inspired a mentor. And he took it step by step by step by step. How about another movie? How about The Shawshank Redemption? Remember that one? That one's on all the time. In fact, I think there's like a Shawshank channel, all right? Because that movie's on like every night all the time. Remember the chief character, Andy Dufresne. My friend Andy Dufresne, all right? And Red. Those were the 2 main characters. So what does Andy Dufresne do? Well, he wants to get out of prison. That's his goal, right? That's his burning desire. And he knows it's going to take a long time. So what does he do? He pays attention to the detail. He makes a friend. He says, I understand you're a man that can get people things. I can do that from time to time. So he gets himself the little rock hammer. And remember at the time he said, I think it'd take a man 700 years to go through these walls with the rock hammer. That's exactly what his plan was to create the tunnel to go and escape. And then he had to follow all of the little details. The details of putting up the picture of the movie stars so that people wouldn't look behind. He paid attention to every single little detail. The rock hammer, then the tunnel, and then at the end, what is he doing? He sees the warden's shoes are there. All right, so he says, I can't have those other shoes when I go outside. And then he had the ledgers, everything all set up the way the warden was laundering money. Andy Dufresne was the person that was arranging all that. So he had all the ducks in a row. He had the IDs that he was going to need when he escaped. He planned everything out. He took care of each and every little detail. And he had the dream of living in Zihuatanejo, easy for me to say, that little Mexican town. Think of all of the things that you see your heroes do in the movies that you watch time after time after time. And the formula is always the same. The dream, the vision, getting to the starting line, step by step. Sometimes little events come that you can't predict or plan. The events that you can't predict or plan, like that guard, Hadley, inheriting some money and wondering how he can get, so he doesn't have to pay taxes on it. And then Andy Dufresne taking the chance and saying, I can show you how to do that. And being right at the edge, almost thrown off the roof at the time that he's saying it. And maintain, and the thing is, when you have to be able to have a constant vision and grasp opportunity when it comes to you. Think of all of the things that happened after Andy Dufresne grasped that opportunity. He helped Hadley, keep as much of that inheritance money as he could. Then he started helping people with the baseball teams who would come from the other prisons and help them with their taxes. Then from there, he built it where he started working with the warden, Norton, and helping him to launder all the different money. You follow what I'm saying? Is the first thing is you have to be on the lookout for opportunity, and then you have to go for it. And sometimes that involves taking a risk. So that formula for success is always the same. There's always the same elements in it. And when you have that tunnel vision and you send that vibe out there about what you want, you get mind flashes, you get circumstances that come up, but you have to be in a position to take advantage of those circumstances. So keep your eyes open. What is it that you truly want? And when you find that out, when you figure that out, when you're passionate about that, then make sure that you notice the things around you, and they will start to relate more to your burning desire. So, we keep seeing these same movies over and over and over again. And are we looking at the plot? Are we looking at the formula? Are we seeing that the success formula is the same time after time after time? It truly is, folks. And because we'll never end a movie on a philosophical note, let's get out there and take charge. The end.